you're gonna want to cheat sometime. Listen, a lot of people think you get married and you just I don't want to cheat. No, it's the desire is there, but going further than that. Because cheating don't just start. Most men don't wake up today and say, you know what, I think I'm gonna get some in some draws. It typically it's a progression of stuff, right? And that's what I'm saying. I want people to hear this to protect that door, so that a conversation here, a lunch here with friends there, a passing comment after work here doesn't culminate into, an emotional affair that leads to actual physical cheating.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, but if you're going to go through the process of cheating on your spouse, that means you need to go ahead and go get counsel. You just need to leave, is what I'm saying.
I can agree with that.
And go ahead, Purple Pill. What you got? What you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, just being honest, women can't handle the truth. They've never been able to handle the truth. I don't think that we're supposed to. I think you can give them breadcrumbs, like you can give them little pieces of the truth here and there. But man, like if you're a guy as an entrepreneur, you're going through financial issues, you can't go and tell them about that stuff. Like I think Trev was talking about this and Sean a little bit. Like if they're depressed or if they have anxiety or anything, man, that can trigger stuff in them. Like it's like I don't think that they're meant to or built to handle the type of stress that a guy can. You got to go to your homies and you got to talk about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jesus wept alone. Like I don't think that there was anybody around him, and I really think that
there was somebody around.
Oh, okay, well, I really think sometimes like you can cry alone as a man, though. I really have like a lot of pride in that and getting through an issue and just calling your boys and figuring out the issue. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with crying, but I don't think that you need to do it around other people. I'm able to do that, but I always say I think you have to earn your ability to do that in front of your girl. I think if you're doing that and you're a broke dude and you're crying about getting tires on the car or something like that, that's a problem, man. Like you shouldn't be crying over that. But but yeah, I really think for the most part we should never be honest with these women, because you're just, for the most part it's going to end up backfiring on you. You can be honest sometimes, but most of the time you can't.
All right, so don't be honest to them. Just laugh every now and then, because they can't handle it.
Why do you think that a man cannot cry about not being able to put tires on his car if he doesn't have the money?
Because like I think complaining is just a feminine attribute. So like if you're complaining about something that isn't that big of a deal, I just think it's feminine. And crying is a very, very extreme complaining about the tire. It's an extreme complaint about it. And like that, I think that's just a little bit too far. Like I think the masculine thing to do is like, well, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to problem solve. That's what we've always done throughout all of history.
When did crying become complaining? That's not
if it's over a tire, if it's over like not being able to afford a tire, I think then that's complaining about it.
But that's the thing. Like, so let's extrapolate this out further. Losing your house, because the tire is just but the tire is just a small aspect of not being able to provide something. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford brand new tires for their car. Tires are four.
You know how much tires are, bro?
Like you talk about $1,200-$1,300 for a set of 4 tires on a lot of people's cars nowadays. So I can see, I don't, you know what I mean? Obviously, I don't attribute crying to complaining. I attribute complaining to complaining. So if you out there and you want to bitch to people about the fact that you can't afford your tires, that's different versus somebody breaking down because they can't afford it.
I just think that you could put energy towards like crying in the moment and being emotional and being sad about it, or you could put energy towards how can I solve this problem? How can I make some more money? Can I go apply for another job? Who can I borrow this from possibly? Like who can I go talk to? Who can I go network with? It's just there's like, and it's how the woman is going to see it as well. She's going to see you in that moment. She's going to say, okay, he has 2 choices right now where he can break down and act like this to me, or he can try to solve the issue. And I just think that she's going to see you as more of a man for trying to solve the issue versus crying about the issue. There's a lot of things to cry about, bro. There's tons of stuff that I think it's okay to cry about. Like seriously, tons of stuff. Watching movies, sad moments, parents or you're just sad because of something that happened in your past, trauma. There's all types of reasons I think for you to be able to cry, and your woman shouldn't judge you for it. But I really think financial issues is one of those things that makes you
Hey,
really
you cried about a movie, man, and you don't think you'll judge it.
Wait,
So what about when you watch Bambi and that motherfucker mama died? Did you cry? God dang.
I can't remember the last time I watched
No,
Bambi.
Hank, if you crown on Bambi, you saw. Now, Lion King, that's a different story, but Bambi, no.
Are people not capable of doing both? Can a person cry about something because they're in an emotional state at that moment, but then afterwards find out how to solve the problem? Because I mean, the reality is the problems ain't gonna solve themselves. You still got to figure it out. But if you can, aren't you capable of expressing your emotions in that moment and then going out and figuring it out? And then two, how is it that you gonna say it's okay to cry over a damn movie, but you can't cry that your car is on bricks right now?
Because one is empathy. One is just having empathy for something. I think it's okay to have empathy or sympathy for something. And then the other is literally a physical issue in the world. Like it's a problem that needs to be solved. Like I'm the type of person, whenever I have a problem that needs to be solved, I'm not going to cry about it. Like I will just solve the issue. Now, there are some people where whenever something bad happens like that, their first reaction is to cry. I'm just not one of those people. I wasn't taught to do that. I was taught to like figure out how to solve the issue. I think that you can find a girl that would maybe be acceptable with that, but just me personally, like I'm not that type of person, so I wouldn't know how to find that or anything. But I did find a girl that's okay with me crying in movies, and I'm okay with that because I'm very emotional. I like my
you know what?
You'll cry over some fake shit, but you won't cry over some real life shit.
Real life shit. You won't cry over that. You'll cry because
I'm gonna tell you what.
Ricky got shot in the movie. Come on, man.
Look, I think what Purple Pill's talking about, like the main issue with you crying over tires is that the woman is probably going to question your ability to problem solve, and she might see that as just something frivolous that you shouldn't cry about. I couldn't see myself crying over tires under any circumstances. I mean, anything material for real. Even if you're about to lose your house, man, it's like, all right, it's a that. It'll hurt, but listen, you have to show
Come on, wait. So let me jump in real quick.
More than likely, the shit, it was
Go ahead.
a bunch of shit built up. It was more than just the tires being flat or being replaced. It might have been, man, last week his engine went out.
We don't know. I don't know what he meant.
Okay, but he said over the tires itself. So that's what I'm saying. It could have been a cumulative thing, and these tires was just the last straw, and it broke the camel's back, man.
I guess that's a really good point, because unless you have lost a house or really lost and you felt defeated, it ain't even about the tires. Is when you feel defeated as a man and you got to go look into the eyes of the people you're responsible for, and you don't know how you're going to do it. Like, if you get a month, but we got to eat tomorrow. You know what I mean? And you don't know how to figure it out, and you maxed out your credit cards and you feel defeated. Like, I think we got to give men. I just noticed whenever we talk about emotion, we go straight to crime. And the crying is something that we take as at a jab. I told you guys, we get two emotions. I told you this earlier. If you cry, right, you are less of a man. And I don't think people understand that when a man has tried and he's hit a part in his life and he feels defeated, that's a low that could make or break men. Like, at first, I used to hear men who, used to be making a lot of money on the exchange markets, and then they would go broke, and what they would do, they'll jump off. And you hear that, and you're like, I could never do that. Well, you've never been under the kind of pressure that man was under. You see what I'm saying? So I think that we got to give men a greater range, because if y'all gonna say it's wrong if we go out and go drink, you're gonna say it's wrong if we go out and we go gamble. So if I get to take 5 minutes to release this pressure and then collect myself and get back to thinking and getting back to being a man, then I think we need to open it up for men to have that moment, right? And this really ain't about crying in front of your girl, because we're so modern in our thinking. We're so modern that it's almost, when I hear a lot of guys talk about women, it's like, you don't need one. Like, there's no part in your life where you need her that she's of value to you, because you got to do it without her. And I say this to say, like, shout out to Jonathan Bernville. He said he lost some people consecutively, and he felt like he couldn't really cry about it, don't feel comfortable. I understand that. When you lose people and you're so concerned with looking strong for everybody that you can't process that again, that benefits you early, but that messes you up later. Because if you don't have grace for yourself, you cannot have grace for your wife. If you don't have like grace and empathy for you, you cannot have it for your kids. So, and then a woman who sees you defeated, a wise woman, she's not going to look at you and what you're going through and look at you as less of a man. If she loves you, the least she's going to do is pray for you and show that she's a support system.